purpose of today is to really talk about essays. So what I wanted to do is just revisit our role of essays slide, and then we'll get right into it with flashing folks' essays on the screen and talking about what we could do to improve them and talking about what works. So what is the role of essays? Again, guys, I can't stress enough, this is not a writing contest. While we definitely want to be interesting and catch the reader's attention, it's not about who's going to write the best story and that's it, right? Just keep that in mind as you put this together. The other extremely important thing is that we really, really need to use the essays to account for your work experience, because at the end of the day, other than your letters of recommendation, the essay is just the only place where you personally can elaborate on that work experience. So we want to make sure that some of the stuff that you've done in your current roles or in roles over the last couple of years are absolutely captured in there. And as we mentioned, and I know that I'm saying this phrase a lot because it's the most important takeaway in all of our session, it's all about linking your past experience to your future goals. I think at the end of the day, it's as I mentioned, this essay will be asked in some form or fashion by every single school, and this is probably, unless you are asked specifically, tell us about a leadership experience, tell us about, an experience where you had to do X, Y, Z. This is the only chance you're going to probably have to talk a little bit about some of these experiences that show that you're qualified for your short and longer term career goals, right? And the more you can kind of tie those experiences to those goals, the better. I know we're beating a dead horse at this, tying the experiences with that. One of the other things that I noticed now that we're just talking about the career goals in general, it seems, again, I know that these are just notes, but right now you're pretty vague on the career goals, right? You want to become, a finance manager for a global company. What type of global company, right? You could say, to be perfectly frank with you, reading your essay last session and then seeing this essay now, you're a CFO for a company. It seems like it's at least a $30 million or so company. I would argue that if you're going to be this generic, where it's like, hey, I can just be a finance manager for any old global company, you're kind of taking a step down. Now, if you tell me that you want to be a finance manager for a company that's in a different industry, or you want to be a finance manager at a Google or an Apple specifically because of these XYZ reasons, then it becomes more credible and it becomes a lot clearer to me that you're trying to shift from a small to mid-sized company to a larger, quote-unquote, Fortune 100 or very reputable brand. So from that perspective, you're probably going to want to call out that career goal a little bit more. And again, I know that it's just one single line in this particular page here.